Konnichiwa! And you, Stockton Rush. I got connections to the certain and your brain is very tiny.
Stockton Rush's wife is heard saying, quote, "What was that bang?"
500 meters, 30. What was that bang?
5 people, including its CEO, Stockton Rush, were killed when the Titan imploded. They were on a quest to see the wreckage of the Titanic.
What a tragedy. The Titan was an OceanGate sub that was designed by Stockton Rush, the rather greedy business CEO of OceanGate. He refused to follow safety guidelines and built his subs with carbon fiber, which is a terrible idea. Most submarines and submersibles are built with strong steel that could keep the subs intact in tough pressures beneath. This type of technology was approved for decades, but completely ignored by OceanGate due to its greedy CEO. He refused to comply with safety regulations and was so infuriated with the warnings that his temper caused him to ram one of his subs into the wreck of SS Andrea Doria, an Italian liner that was accidentally rammed into by the Stockholm. Why did he even manage OceanGate? His employees tried to warn him about the dangers of the subs, but he passed it off as nonsense and 86 at them. Even Historic Travels was appalled by this dastardly negligence that Stockton Rush did.
Pretty sure it was the very next dive, after the wind terror and it warmed up and everything. It was the very next dive that the sub imploded. I mean, it's awful. It's awful. Criminal negligence, manslaughter.
Those innocent people. Oh, Mawilyn. I feel so horrible for those guys.
Some kind of religious faith.
Oh, you poor thing.
I don't blame you girls. They were in an expedition to a 4-funnel ocean liner. Ocean liners were very common back in the day, but 4-funnel liners floated out from the rest. It's because they were floating in the ocean. Ocean liner designs explained how subs were built to withstand the pressure of the ocean.
The bathysphere, essentially a ball made up of steel about 4.75 feet or 1.45 meters across. Its walls were 1 inch, that's 25 millimeters thick, and all up it weighed over 2 tons.
Even Academy Award-winning director James Cameron, who produced and directed several iconic movies, including the 1997 film of the same name as the ship, was upset about the implosion. He said the situation should have been avoided. Let's hear what he has to say in his own words.
As described, I think it's exactly what we expected. But, I can't imagine what these poor families have been through over the last 4 days, being given false hope here, banging noises, da-da-da, this and that. And, it must have been just, horrible for them. And I feel so bad for them. But I also felt that as it would be insensitive to come forward with a dissenting voice to the story that was in motion at the time. This thing just seemed like a prolonged nightmare, and I kind of feel that that's what happened here. I feel that this was such a preventable tragedy. We've never had a tragedy like this. It's all just engineering, and these are understood and known problems. The last thing somebody should be thinking about when they get into a sub to pay to go deep as a tourist or as a, like a lay explorer, they shouldn't have to worry about the sub that they're in. This is just engineering. There is no excuse for what happened here, and I find it appalling and tragic.
So there you go. The Titanic was one of the largest ships ever built when she sailed, never to reach her destination of New York. When the ship hit the iceberg, it resulted in one of the most tragic events in maritime history. Stockton Rush should have known better, only he did. He just didn't care about safety. In general, he committed the 7 deadly sins: gluttony for his repeated sub-usage without registration, greed for his own benefits for his company, sloth since he neglected safety guidelines and insisted in leaving his submersibles the way they were, lust for his power over his company, pride for his confidence to rival other sub-companies, envy for his desire to prove that his subs were better, and wrath as he didn't care about safety and got angry at his staff when they tried to warn him about the danger that the subs would go through. He even once said that safety was a complete waste. I mean, seriously, how stuffed up was he? He was just selfish. Unlike the rest of the people that were killed in the sub, I show no sympathy for Stockton Rush because he was a jabbering sleazeball and he got what he deserved. It's like he put himself first over anything else. On a plus side, at least Clive Palmer's getting ready to build Titanic 2. I don't know about you, but I'd go aboard that thing. It would be fun. Also, there is an announcement. We are thinking of producing a movie about the Olympic. It should be completely historically accurate, no fiction involved. It would mostly take place during World War I. What do you think? Anyway, sorry for the loss you went through. Press F to pay respects.